live. We're live. And we can actually upload this later onto N4G's channel. Oh, do you want to keep the sounds of the game up a little bit? The game I was playing earlier was like just crap. All right, let's do the intro. Hey everybody, it's Geekdomo. You're not seeing me on the screen right now. I'm here with my friend Thako, and we're going to be doing a cast. We're just doing some practice for StarCraft 2. We're thinking of making a little league out of this for N4G TV, so this is going to be our test cast. So, this is my friend Thako. Go ahead, Thako.
Hey everyone, I'm Thako, and we're going to start watching this game here. It's going to be a PvZ on Polar Knights between our Zerg player, who is Golden, I believe still playing for Team Startail, and his Terran opponent spawning in the bottom center. It is Mizu. Like you said, I'm joined by Geekdomo here.
Yeah.
And we're just going to, as this game gets underway, try to figure out what these players are doing and see where they take us here.
What's the emblem he's got there? That's your standard...
I actually think you're just entry-level Rainer's Raider emblem here.
What it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was all that fancy, really.
We've got Mizu going for the wall off. That's pretty important in this ZVT matchup.
Absolutely.
You don't want to let any type of little run-by come in and catch you off your guard.
You never know when your opponent's going to six-pool you.
You really don't, and that's just going for that extractor trick. Want to get all of your potential drones out nice and early.
I learned that one from day 9, actually, the extractor trick. It gives you an extra drone for a few seconds.
Yeah, not any double extractor trick or anything there, just the single. It looks like he should be going up for a very standard hatchery first opening here. It's a pretty safe thing to do in the Zerg versus Terran matchup, because there's not a whole lot that Terran player can ever really do to punish you for playing greedy.
Right.
Short of proxying you, but we've already seen that that Mizu hasn't proxied Golden, and instead is himself going to try to open up incredibly greedy and go for that command center first on the low ground.
That's ballsy.
This could wind up being a really exciting game, because this is incredibly exposed for the Terran player.
Yeah.
As soon as Golden gets his scout down here, he's going to know what's going on, and he's going to be looking to potentially get some lings out on this map a lot earlier and start harassing this base, because there is no barracks. But as you can see, Golden has not really going to have some trouble abusing this, as he has gone all the way up to 17 drones before a spawning pool, even adding on an extractor before spawning pool. So there's going to be really early zergling speed on this map.
Yeah, and it's pretty smart of him to send his Overlord directly into that base. I mean, normally I would have thought they would have gone a little bit farther over, but he's seeing right now that the expansion's there, so he's going to be sending some lings out right away, I think.
Yeah, this could end very quickly, as Mizu is being a little too greedy here. I mean, his barracks will finish. He'll have a couple Marines to defend this. It really all is a question of how aggressive Golden chooses to be with this. He might just let it go, or just go in for a few SCV kills, harass the economy just a little bit, try to regain any lead that he may have thought he was going to get from that much greedier hatchery first play.
And he's already expanding out to his second one, of course. Zerg works the best when they have expanded quickly.
That is very true. The Zerg player really has to focus on getting a lot of bases, and then in the late game getting those incredibly large, expensive units out on the map.
There's our good luck, have fun about 10 minutes into the game already.
I mean, if there's one thing I do know, it's that that wonderful GLHF timing. If it comes at any point after the 30-second mark in the game, your opponent's cheesing you.
Right.
But that may just be like a little bit of a mind game that Golden or Mizu are trying to play with each other, that they try to mess with the other person's head, act like they are about to cheese, but they're not. And Mizu's going to get away with this hatchery on the low ground. This wall off is going to be solid in a minute or two here before any mass number of lings actually comes out. And that bunker is just so important for the hold.
Yeah, he's got in a great place. The lings can't get through there no matter what anyway.
And this is exposed here, but we do have a pretty much full wall off here that can be an excellent choke point. And this is going to be a Hellion play out of Mizu here, as that reactor is finishing up. Obviously, factory lifted off.
Ooh, maybe not.
No, okay. That was a little...
I was confused too. I thought, he's going to drop it. No, he's not. Okay, there you go.
That tiny little misclick there. But let's go look up at Golden's base and really see if he...
What's he prepping for?
What can he do to defend against that Hellion run by? And he'll have a good number of queens out, and the queens They do a pretty good job, I think. Oh, a lot of gas coming in here for Golden. As
he's maybe you think he's going Muta?
I would have to believe so. It is such a strong play in that ZVT matchup.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going up for that more traditional 4-queen play, though. It looks like he's sitting on 3. And that might be because he's getting a nice early lair out, not going up to 3 bases. I'm a little shocked that he's not going up to 3 bases, actually. This is... looks like it should wind up being a more 2-base muted style of play.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, what's he got over there? Hellion all right? Yeah, there's a Hellion.
The Hellions, they were checking for the 3rd.
Yeah.
And if I were Mizu at this point and there's no 3rd base for the Zerg player, I would start panicking a little bit.
Yeah, I would too, because by now they should be hitting the 3rd.
Yeah. And that's the spending 10, yes. Sorry.
X Major Cuddles, we'll chat about that a little bit afterwards. We're going to do our StarCraft stuff right now.
And the Hellions are going to start going in here. They're going to have a hard time getting past this queen, so they may just wind up being creep contain here.
Mm-hmm.
That may be what he decides to do with those. And use them as an attempt to shut down any attempted 3rd bases. You saw he's actually going up into the back to make sure there's nothing back here.
Yeah, if he can close that down and Zerg gets stuck on 2, it won't last long for Zerg.
No, they won't. This is going to come very much down to this Mutalisk and Baneling play that is coming out here. He's going to have to bust down and really win this game with that play because he is very well contained at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And also, we're not going to see any massive number of upgrades coming out here for Golden, as he is.
Oh, there's Speedlings coming out.
Yeah, these are going out to try to hunt down those Hellions that are running around the map. He wants to try to find them and try to kill them off.
Yeah, I just saw his Baneling nest coming up, though.
It's true. He could. It looks like he might actually wind up hiding these over here and going for a Baneling bust in a few minutes here with those Mutalisks when they are done. And
yeah.
What is Mizu doing? Mizu is adding out a large number of barracks at this point. Has his 3rd command center done. So he's going for that bio mine play.
If he can switch over to Banelings quick enough, if Golden can, that bio won't be as effective.
And this is that slightly earlier in Hot's style of Baneling, or not Baneling, bio mine play that is slightly less favorable now that the mine is slightly weaker than it was, doing that radiating damage as opposed to just a solid damage across everything.
Right.
So this could actually work out pretty well for Golden if he hits soon. If he doesn't, he has only just started his 3rd base, and there are the Mutalisks starting to fly into the base. There are going to be a lot of missile turrets and Widow Mines. There is no clean way to enter the main base for them. So they're going to swoop around and try it the natural, it looks like, and they are going to meet another Widow Mine and a lot of damage being thrown down here on these Mutalisks. They are going to be a little useless for a short period of time here as they have to regenerate their health. Even now going in to try to harass the side mineral line, trying to get anything done they can. And those Hellions aren't going to do a whole lot against them.
Yep.
I mean, killing off the reactor is not the refinery is not the most useful move there. It hasn't paid for the Mutalisks at all, but it is great to just do that little bit of harassment to get anything done you can. If you can pick off this command center, that would be huge right now.
Even
but
if we could get it burning, yeah.
It doesn't look like that. It's going to be a potential. And Mizu is pretty well defended against these Mutalisks. He has these mines positioned here. He does have turrets. The engineering bays are a little exposed, but he's not going to be able to pick off the upgrade before it finishes, so that's going to be done. And he's going to be able to get his army back in time to save the second one. Looks like the first one may go down.
Yeah, he might get the second one, though. Look at it. He's whittling away at it, and it looks like they're not even sending anybody in to stop it, so it's on fire now.
Well, if we look at the map, we can see why. He's decided to move out.
Yeah.
Mizu is going to secure his 3rd. I would have expected more of an attack move there, but he's going to catch the Mutalisks out of position. Going to get all of those Marines under there. If he can get the Widow Mines burrowed, he could do a lot of damage, but they do both disengage, and it looks like Mizu is going to move out across the map and try to push his advantage.
It leaves it wide open for the Mutas to come right back around, though.
It does, but if he can get enough, Mizu can do enough pressure onto Golden's 3rd base, he may be able to force the Mutalisks to pull back because this mine play is so devastating against Ling Baneling. It's really hard for Golden to engage into this spot. See, we have the Mutalisks have pulled back. He's trying to morph more Banelings, but these Hellions have gotten into the line and are killing off a lot of the Zerglings. He's even getting drones here.
No, come on with the Banelings.
Oh,
he popped them all. They didn't do anything. Totally useless.
Really good Widowmine connections there have shut down that, and there's the GG out of Golden.
That was it. That's all he needed.
That was an amazing Widowmine connection at the end of that game there. That was impressive to see.
Very good. Say, hey, Nobby Hobby, I'm here. Thanks for coming, everybody. We're just doing a little bit of StarCraft, a little bit of StarCraft casting. We're thinking about doing this as like a full-time thing on every weekend. So we're gonna start up an N4GTV league. So yeah, that's what we're here with. I'm here with my friend Thako, and we're just doing some casting.
Hello.
So if you guys like it, or if you have any comments, please throw it down.
Any feedback is what we're looking for here.
Yep, any feedback. All right, let's load up another one.
Go load up the next one.
So we have not watched any of these replays. We have no idea how it's going to turn out at all.
Also played on the patch that came out before Tuesday. So we're going to have to log back in here. That'll take a second. I really thought Golden had that game for a while there.
I did too.
I thought that Mutaplay was going to be a little stronger.
We could switch it off so people don't have to watch you that part, I guess, later. That's okay.
We could.
Figure out your password.
If you want to play on my Silver League account, that's
Yeah. All right.
Not too worried.
Oh, can I get off around here?
Yeah.
Just want to see. It's weird because I'm not getting any. Oh, we got 10 people watching. Okay. On if you guys are writing or something like that, there's like a bit of lag. So.
You want that there?
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be our second game. I believe this is a ZVP this time.
All right. Hey, Jamu, thanks for coming.
All right. Let's pull that off. Pull that off. Oop, shift up. All right. So this time it's going to be Daedalus Point. This is actually one of the new maps in this ladder season.
I've never played on this map yet.
Not a whole lot of people are very big fans of it. But
looks like it's a really nice natural, though.
It's a little farther out there, as it's
but it's protected enough.
It is pretty protected. It's a long.
It's got a really wide ramp, though.
Yeah, and it's a long walk.
Oh my
so
God,
if a Terran can really harass both spots at once.
Yep.
So can Mutalisks. But anyway, let's give our player introductions here.
Okay.
We have our red Protoss player in the upper left corner of the map. It is gonna be Parting from Team SKT1. And his opponent down in the bottom right as our blue Zerg player, it is gonna be Zark.
Zark. I love that name for a Zerg. It's a good Zerg name.
It feels pretty, buggy and a little grimy.
Yeah, exactly.
Zark.
Hey, Mr. Hunter, thanks for coming.
And both players opening pretty, hate to say standard, but not harassy, shall we say.
Yeah,
no one's going for any proxies at this point.
I haven't seen anybody dropping off any pylons in somebody's base. Right.
And the thing to watch for is Protoss is really strong in the Protoss v Terran matchup right now.
Oh, is it?
And a little strong on the Protoss v Zerg matchup as well, as it can drag on into hour-long games with swarm hosts versus whatever the Protoss player that day decides is going to beat swarm hosts. Void Rays, Tempests, Colossi. They need all of them, actually.
Right.
And that culminated in the famous Firecake v, I want to say, I can't remember who Firecake was playing, Mana.
Oh, okay.
Game that lasted 3.5 hours.
Wow. At that point, you pretty much have mined all the minerals, haven't you? I mean, in 3.5 hours, I think you would have got them all.
Oh, yeah. You have emptied the map. And that's an impressive thing. Like, there's a lot of expansions on this map, and there's several thousand minerals per expansion, but you can pretty quickly empty it out.
Hey, GN Nation, thanks for coming.
And we did have Zark going for the safer play against Protoss on this map, respecting all the cannon rushes and early aggression that they can do by taking his spawning pool first before he expanded down to his natural. And by doing that, it allows him to get Zerglings out and Queens out a little earlier, and he can defend against the cannon rush. He can defend against the little attack squads that the Mothership Core can bring out with it occasionally.
Just doing a straight up Zealot standard opener right here.
Yeah, this is it's a pretty defensive opening for Parting as well. He's not...
He's going to get a Zealot out standing right there on the map, right?
No, what he actually did was he canceled it.
Why?
It's a thing you do. You open with the Zealot defensively, and you have it building and building and building, and right before it's done, if you haven't seen anything coming your way, you cancel it for those 100 minerals. And
that's a great idea.
That allows you to get this base up just that much faster.
It's almost like doing the gas trick with the Protoss.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, that was Zerg. Oh, he's already got the core out. Mothership core is coming out.
And there's just a couple Lings coming up to scout, and the Mothership Core will shut them down.
Yeah.
I mean, Zark might get in and might see everything Parting is doing, but there's not a whole lot to hide for Parting at this point. He's not doing anything cheeky. He's
Nope.
just opening very standard.
Standard opening right here.
And, I mean, Zark is as well. Neither one of them is being too aggressive out on this map.
Good energy on the queens, too, so he's keeping up with his larva.
Yeah. And there's the sentry will be the first thing out, and that's a completely defensive play. He can guard any ramp with this, well, his main ramp. Because as you pointed out so correctly, this is a giant ramp.
Yeah,
this is
big.
impossible to defend.
Yeah, look, he's already dropped. What he's going to think he's going to do some cannons through there?
He should eventually. He doesn't have a forge out yet, so there's a long way before we see cannons.
That's true, yeah.
But what he's done is he's walled off this area.
They did a choke point, so they have to go around.
Yeah, he's going to force them to run all the way up there, and he can use his sentries even to force field here, and he's going to wall off back here eventually.
Oh, so he's doing pretty heavy D, especially for what Zerg has right out. It's just the zealots.
Yeah. Well, I'm worried that Zark hasn't read this very well. That Parting is playing really defensively. Sure, he does have 4 gateways up really early in the game, but he's doesn't have the mineral income to really 4-gate effectively.
Oh, what is he doing? Dropping a...
That's a spine crawler. That is respecting that he's seen the 4-gate coming.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, though, is that if somebody's going that defensive, he should have already gone his third.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He should be taking a third and even a fourth at this point. Yeah. He shouldn't be playing this... He shouldn't be the one playing defensively here. Warp Gate research is about to finish, so this is where we're going to see what Parting is actually thinking.
Right.
What he goes for in tech next. And he is going to scout out. He is going to see that there is a spine crawler, but a lot of surface area that he can just run around that spine crawler. And he's also going to get up into the main and see that there's there's a Roach Warren down as well. So there's not really a whole lot of early game aggression that the Protoss player can do effectively. And Zark he's scouting really efficiently. He's got an Overlord in each of the bases. He knows exactly what's going on. He's seen everything.
So you think he's just playing a little bit cautious right now?
Both players are playing very cautious. Zark is respecting the name Parting. Parting, one of the best Protoss players in the world.
Okay.
And I think Parting is respecting the fact that he doesn't know Zark.
Okay.
He's I think assuming they just met each other on the ladder, and so he's gonna really back off and wait to see what's going on.
Pretty effective with the sentries. I would never really thought of them as being good Overlord killers, but he's got 4 of them right there, just taking them right out.
I mean, the Overlord, pretty slow unit.
Yeah.
I do think what's happening here is that it will eventually turn into...
Wow, Protoss already starting his third, and...
Yeah, and that robotics facility here, I think that's coming for a future Immortal Sentry all-in. I think is what we're pushing towards here. Canceling the robotics facility, he's going to get these roaches up towards the mineral line, but they're going to get walled in by these sentries. Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's going to lose every single one of these roaches in this attack.
That's awesome. Fantastic. Great play.
Notice the lack of overlap on these force fields. He got those placed down perfectly.
Yep.
He is losing quite a few sentries in this attack, though. So the potential for that Immortal Sentry all I was talking about is diminished greatly. There's a quick pause was called there as Zark needed to take care of something. But that was sorted out, and we are back into this game. Zark's aggression was shut down completely.
That was fantastic. That was a really great play with those with the sentries.
It was, and we see Zark is really far behind in this game because sure, it looks pretty even. They're on roughly even supplies. They're on roughly even base counts, but that's not where you want to be as a Zerg player.
No, actually, Zerg's a bit heavy on the minerals. Ooh.
There's this attack coming in.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a whole lot that Zark can do here to defend this. He does have roaches. The roaches will do good against the stalkers, but the longer the Parting pushes this off, the sooner this pylon will be done. The reinforcements can come in, and he doesn't have anything that can really kill off the mothership core here.
Yeah, this isn't looking good for Zark.
If he can get these roaches in, the more reinforcing roaches he can get in, he's getting a good supply lead.
Oh, there they come.
But there's the pylon done, and this is going to be tough for Zark. There's the Time Warp.
Nice Time Warp.
Ooh, those force fields catching off a lot of the front line of those roaches and killing them off. Zark is trying to fight this down here at the Spine Crawler because that is his best hope of defense here. But Parting is just going to push right on past it, it looks like, taking out a lot of these roaches. Zark going in for the surround, trying to catch something, shortening off that surface area.
There they come, yep.
But look at how fast Zark is plummeting in supply here. He's not keeping up with his stalker count, and that is that Spine Crawler's almost done. Roach is coming in to try to reinforce. Yep. Zark's got almost nothing left here, or does he?
I noticed that. Oh, here comes the Zerg. There's lots of Lings. That'll help.
Lings are exactly what he needs as he can get this
Yep.
around here on these stalkers. Killing off the last of those sentries is a good play for him, but he still has not taken care of this mothership core that has been just dishing out a lot of damage slowly. It's not the most damaging of units,
No, but he needs to get rid of that pylon too. That should be the first place he goes to try to get that thing down.
And there are two
Oh,
of
he's
them
got
now.
two of them now, yeah.
This is not a pretty situation here for Zark, but it looks like Parting's gonna say, all right, I've done some damage. I've forced out a lot of Zerg units, and I've killed off a large number of roaches and lings. Let's just go back. Let's establish our own third base that we are a little bit ahead on because we've been able to saturate it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Parting in a much better situation in this game.
Oh, yeah. It seemed like that wasn't an effective attack, but it was really effective because it was enough to keep the Zerg on their toes and saw a lot of his weaknesses there.
There's the reestablishment here of this robotics facility, as well as the addition of the Twilight Council, which will be opening up all of our Templar tech here in this game, both high and dark. So we're gonna have to see what Parting decides to go for. If he goes for the more harassy Dark Templar, or if he decides that Storm is really what he needs here, because Zark is hoping there's the Hydralisk Den actually finishing up just there. So
Okay, that's good. He needs a little bit of air defense.
yeah, and the Hydralisks are really the DPS of the Roach Hydra composition. You need a lot of them. You want the Roaches to tank for them.
Right.
But Hydralisks are the main element of that army. And just while we have a minute here, interestingly, they've been talking a lot about decreasing the cost of Hydralisk. I think dropping the gas cost by 25.
Oh, wow, that's a big jump.
Which would be, and this army this shouldn't really ever fight here. This is not a good. But the
no,
time
no,
warp
no,
is not
no.
a choice anymore.
Gotta chew 'em
The
up.
stalkers run in and take out the back line of roaches as they are furiously retreating towards that creep.
Right. Ooh, it was close.
Oh.
All right, he's got the lings coming out to keep off some of those stalkers.
Did I?
But Parting is just being so aggressive right now. At this point, Zark has to do a lot. Oh my God! Now he's got a
That warp prism is brought in.
yeah. He's got the warp prism coming in. You think he's gonna drop? You think he's got?
I think this is to allow him to reinforce at every location
Okay, that's
with
a good
that
idea.
warp and off that, so that he can continue to push in and always be reinforcing himself.
First target for those Hydras whenever they show up.
Oh yeah, there are a small number of Hydralisks here. They do have the grooved spines upgrade for that +1 range.
Mm-hmm.
And with the Lings, here is Zark trying to close in on this, but a lot of stuff getting caught out here by these force fields. If Parting pulled back, he could actually be fighting this a little better, but Zark is doing really good
Zark is
damage
doing
here.
great, yeah.
As his right flank is holding strong, and that's where I thought he would collapse the fastest. But Parting isn't really dropping in supply. He's lost maybe 10 to the 20.
Got the warp prism's gone.
It is gone, and Parting is retreating out of this. This is not
Ooh, this is turning around
game
quickly.
ending to either player, though, as there's the reinforcing stalkers. If they can pick off those Hydralisks in the back line, the stalkers will easily be able to handle these roaches. And yeah, I think this is... Parting is going to be able to get out of here clean. Zark isn't going to have an army to really push with at this point. You'll notice that Parting has done the really good thing of drawing this fight further and further away from his bases. So even if Zark can win this fight, he can't attack into this third base of Parting.
That was great. That was a really great attack and a good counter.
I did not think that Zark was going to hold that.
No, me either. I thought for sure Zark was done at that point. Yeah, I got to get rid of these pylons.
When there's the Immortals being added on, that is going to really tear through the roaches. And once the roaches are down, that's when those Hydralisks just fall in massive amounts.
Well, what do you think it would be a good counter at this point? I mean, mutas would be a waste of time unless he wants to harass.
Well, honestly, the perfect concave is what Zark needs right now, and this is not the worst thing he's ever done. This is a pretty nice angle, but he did not have the numbers, especially with that Immortal was in there for a little while. That just tore through the roaches. You can see he left the roaches in there to hold the line back as he retreated his Hydralisks a little sooner. They're the much more expensive unit in this fight. They're the much higher damaging unit, and he's got a lot of roaches and Hydras reinforcing. And there is the Spire, actually, which goes towards your idea of a Mutalisk play, which... With that many stalkers on the map, I'm not the biggest fan of.
Yeah, me either. I think it's a little bit... Oh, he's got an observer out now.
Well, the thing is, though, that Parting would make a lot of sense for him to eventually start moving up towards Colossi in this game, because the Colossi do great splash damage. This is going to not be good here.
It's not gonna be good. Oh my God, he's got the time warp in there.
And you'll notice that perfect Parting got himself right up against that ramp, so there wouldn't be a very good angle to engage at. And he is crushing through this fight, even reinforcing up here on the top side.
GG.
There's the GG out of Zark.
All right, that was great. Yeah, but I think Zark was too far behind to begin with. He never really got a good
he never got a good scout in the early game, and
Yeah.
that didn't allow him to realize that he needed to start abusing the economy a lot earlier.
Mm-hmm. We could have expanded to 4 while all that was going on.
It's one of those interesting things where it doesn't feel like it should lose you a game, but that early game is everything sometimes.
So Sylveek says, now's the best time to try it with a new patch adding a bunch of free features. Yeah, so we want to talk a little bit about the arcade?
Well,
while we're waiting for this one to load up?
The arcade has gone completely free to play.
What does that mean? What is the arcade?
The arcade is the custom maps of StarCraft.
Okay.
They've existed in older Blizzard games as well. Is the birthplace of Dota.
Mm-hmm.
And there are, a couple things like that in the StarCraft arcade. There are some pretty cool... Sorry, I'm trying to remember...
MOBA-type games?
There are some great MOBA-type games. There are even slightly modified versions of StarCraft that are free on there. Honestly, the map I've been playing a lot of right now, Starbow, is up on there. It's a free game. It is a... somebody took what they felt were the best features of both Brood War and StarCraft 2 and combined them into one game. That's been getting a lot of traction recently. It's a lot of fun to play. It's a little faster of an economy with the much slower damaging units, so there's a lot more micro. Units don't bunch up as much. What are some other great games? I've been playing a little bit of the micro tournaments recently.
Okay.
Those are always fun.
All right, who we got here?
Well, this is going to be a game. This is, I believe, a TVP here on Yansu between our Terran player, who is Buggy.
Oh, he's got one of those custom icons there.
Well, no, this is actually the just a mid-level one. The custom icon will float next to right about here.
Okay.
And his opponent is our Protoss player. It's actually going to be a barcode player. So no idea who that is.
It's pipe.
Or a very egotistical person because it's just
me.
Buggy complained a little bit about lag, but that won't affect us at all. And,
no. Yansu it's an older map, isn't it?
At this point, it is considered one of the older maps.
Yeah.
It's in the current map rotation. It's one of the first ones that was added into it because all the maps that were launched with Heart of the Swarm are now out of the rotation.
Okay. Wow.
With I think Belshir Vestige being one of the last ones.
Mm-hmm. So Salik says Starbow is great for someone who's familiar with Brood War.
Honestly, I'm gonna go ahead. Was not very familiar with Brood War. I played a little bit as a kid.
Yeah, me too.
But I was like 5, not 5. How old was I? I came out in '98. I was 8.
Okay. I was a bit older.
Yeah.
I was in the Navy.
So I was 8. I wasn't a good strategic player. I was just seeing what I could do.
We'll have face cams next time, GN Nation. We just wanted this is just to try out our just see how the game flows and everything, and then we'll do face cams next time.
So I was terrible at Brood War. I played a lot of the campaign, but I'm loving Starbow. It's a great thing. So I just want to go out into this. There is Buggy actually checking for a little bit of proxying up in his base.
Yeah, it's always a good idea when you have Protoss, because one thing they can do is drop down a pylon, drop in a warp gate right there, and they could be in your front door in seconds.
Or even getting cannons on your natural.
Cannons, yeah.
It's a little easier as Terran to prevent it than as a Zerg player. Zerg struggles with it a lot right now. But the longer this game goes, actually, Protoss is considered to be really strong in the Protoss versus Terran matchup at the moment.
A late game like Colossi, or...
Well, the problem is that there's not really a good time for the Terran player to attack.
I see.
Short of really early aggression, and it's just this little cheeky thing of that SCV picking away at those shields a little bit, there's not a time where Protoss is really weak to Terran. They've got to win through overwhelming play and just superior play. They've got to play perfectly.
Which is hard to do sometimes.
Right.
Like something as simple as that, where he was just tapping away at the shields, not going to do anything to it. But if you lose your concentration for just a second and send a couple probes over to tell him to knock it off or whatever. Oh wow, he's going in already with the Reaper. Yeah.
That's a really good move by Buggy, though, because of the fact that you have to play perfectly. You always want to know what your opponent is doing.
Yeah. And
having this Reaper on the map will allow him to be over there all game, looking at what's going on. And that's
what he drop? He dropping in engineering bay. That's old school trick right there.
I'm actually surprised he let it finish, because that's now 175 minerals that are gone.
Gone, yeah.
Usually you'll see players get it just a tick short of finishing, and that will allow them to salvage 75 of the minerals.
Right.
But not... I mean, over the course of the game, 175 minerals.
I mean, he's really not doing much. He's preventative, obviously, from building right there right away. But Protoss is pretty good with being self-sufficient with a single base for a while.
This is a really early Twilight Council, actually.
It is. You think he's going...
I'm looking at either, Dark Templar Harass, or that's the other thing I was thinking of, Blink Stalkers.
Oh, he's going Blink right off.
This is going to be a really early...
He might try to get just up over the ledge and just walk into the base.
That is true, and this is actually the map for it, because as you'll notice right at the bottom, there is this half step that allows you to blink up and then blink up again.
Yeah. And I never got good at that, but you can do that. That there's a technique where you can cause your guys to blink in a serial line. So they just go blink, 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 and they blink right up onto the next plateau.
I'll be honest, my Protoss play is not my strong suit. Blink Stalkers are just
me either.
A micro trick above me.
It's a bit hard for me to get to, and I practiced that particular thing I was talking about for probably about 10, 15 games, and I just gave up. Because it's really difficult. You don't get the timing just right. They don't blink right, and they all get stuck on a level or something. And all right, so he's starting to got the factory going. Oh, he's dropping off a proxy pylon.
Yeah, he's going for this Blink Stalker all in here. Giving a bit of a backup plan by having this base ready to go should it fail. And even that gives our guard barcode player an advantage over Buggy here, who has his natural still building in his main. He'll probably wait till that's an orbital command before he flies it down.
Yeah, there he goes.
And there are the Stalkers ready to go. It looks like they're going to go take the Zelnagas before anything else, though.
Just to keep an eye on everything.
And that Reaper did just jump in there, and I think it died to these Stalkers that are up there.
Hello, Nino Edits.
I want to check something. I want to see, has Buggy seen the Twilight Council? He has.
Okay.
And I would assume that research started really soon after the Twilight Council finished.
Oh, look, he's already thrown up a tank.
He's got the tank. He's got the bunker. He needs... Well, yep, I was going to say more bunkers, and there's that more bunkers.
He's already prepared for it. He knows that that's a good spot to come in, so he's getting ready for it right now.
And his entire mindset at this point is, I need to be prepared for the Blink Stalker all in.
Does he have a robotics bay to get an observer out?
I don't think he does, but you'll notice that Buggy isn't going for the cloaking fields yet. He just has Banshees on the way. And there's the cloaking fields upgrade on the way. I was going to say he was trying to save gas so he can get up more tanks, get up more units.
Oh, never mind. He has a mothership core, so therefore he can just see right over the edge for the blink.
Oh, right. I was thinking... Yeah, and
that was a bad blink.
Oh, he missed everything. The tank is eating everything apart here on the low ground. Mothership core and the Stalkers that are there finally do take it out, but he lost quite a few Stalkers there.
Bad blink. That was a bad blink.
Yeah, that was a little painful to see, and this is going to allow Buggy more time to prepare for this. Also, he's going to be able to get this Banshee out around everything and go start harassing himself. And that's what you need to be doing here. You need to try to draw those Stalkers back. You need to get them off of your mineral line. And that was exactly what he needed to do here. I'm worried for Barcode, even though he is still ahead. He has his Buggy very well contained. Yeah. He's got this expansion down and mining excellently here. Yeah,
but you think that is almost a cheesy method, what he was trying to do. Not directly cheese, but it was a little bit of an aggressive tactic. And if sometimes those really aggressive tactics, if they don't pay off right away, you just wasted a ton. And it looks like he's having a hard time bouncing back. And what has he got What's he got going on over there?
You got a Stargate coming in down here.
No, I mean Terran.
Oh, the Terran has this Banshee over here.
Banshee, yeah. Does Banshee have cloak?
The cloak is finished.
Yep, there it goes.
Physically, literally just finished. But there are cannons coming down the mineral lines. Yeah, so he's going to have a hard time with this. And there are Void Rays on the way here for our Barcode player. As he just catch out all of these SCVs down here. Going for the... Oh, because it's very damaged here. But it's going to be pushed off real quick here as these Marines get down there. He's going to try to blink off the low ground. And
he does, but got 2 out.
That was at 2 out of 5, and there's the Banshee gets taken out by the Stalkers and the cannon.
He's got Void Rays coming up. What's he got coming out of there?
Those are Void Rays coming out. I think he may have...
Void Rays, the easy button. You get like 100 of them, you're pretty much just going to win no matter what. Well, maybe not against a bunch of Marines, but...
That's true. If there's any one thing that's going to do a good job countering that Void Ray, it's going to be the Marines. That catch-all unit, who I don't think have stim packs yet. They do not. And they are not being researched. Does he have a... Okay, he only has 1 barracks on a reactor. He doesn't have a tech lab out yet. So he's going to have a hard time dealing with an aggression, any real heavy aggression right now.
What's Barcode doing? I see he's got some units coming up
These
there.
should just be his stalkers coming across
okay.
to mess around a little more. This pylon still exists, so I think he wants to hold this center map position. But
they're moving out.
If he catches these stalkers out here, this is going to be great for him, and he's going to. And these tanks are going to just rip through the stalkers.
That's a bad idea. I wouldn't have attacked.
Oh yeah, if I were
bad.
Barcode should have stuck out and tried to run past them and blink into the main, knowing that there wasn't a whole lot of defense at this point, as he is retreating, trying to draw Buggy back to where his Void Rays are.
Barcode needs a lot of units real quick. Oh, what does he get? No, this is just Zealots with the special skin. I thought for a second, like, what is that?
Well, the Photon Overcharge is going to buy him a little bit of time. Buggy still doesn't have overwhelming enough force that he can really push into the
Those
Photon
Void
Overcharge.
Rays are going to get wasted.
But he's going to push in. He can't fight here. This is not a good spot for Buggy. That Photon Overcharge on the Nexus as well as those Void Rays, he is just getting torn apart here as it looks like he's trying to focus down the Void Rays as best he can.
Void Rays are going to take out... Oh, no!
Oh,
I thought for sure they're going to take that tank out.
Yeah. I mean, 3 tanks retreated out of that, though. I mean, he lost a tank and a lot of Marines.
Yeah, he did lose a lot of Marines.
He needs to start looking at getting that's what he needs to do. He's flying that that starport over to the reactor. Gonna start getting out the Meta-X Vikings actually instead, going for something to really shut down that Void Ray play.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he's gonna take out the Vikings. Yeah, I was gonna say he could use some meds, but honestly, he's going heavy. He's going heavy Void Ray, which I wasn't expecting in the beginning. I didn't think that's where he was gonna end up.
We're getting a fleet beacon at this point, which, to me, if you're not familiar with it, it could mean that you're just going for upgrades, because you do need those to unlock the second level of air upgrades.
Right, if he's going heavy air.
But what it actually unlocks is the Tempest.
Oh, I was thinking more Carrier, because Carrier's not so bad against the Marines.
Against a Marine bio player who doesn't really know how to focus down the mothership core as opposed to the not mothership core, the Carrier as opposed to the interceptors, it will do a good job.
Right.
But I think he's going to go for the Tempests here once that's done.
Okay.
Still finishing up some Void Rays. He has 2 Stargates now, so he's gonna go mass air. And
whenever I play Protoss, I usually get about 3 Stargates if I'm going all air, because then I go nuts with that, and then I'll switch over to Carriers once I have enough minerals.
And there is our Tempest.
Yeah,
in
look at the
production.
upgrades he's doing on the.
He's even getting that's a ground armor upgrade.
It's ground. Then he's got the Psionics coming.
Psystorm. He's getting unlocking a lot of tech options at this point. But getting this 3rd base established, he's not going to lose a whole lot from this Banshee harassment.
Yeah, and those Banshees saw all those Void Rays, so he knows what's up.
Well, he is adding on a lot of Vikings. He's adding on Thors. He's getting what he needs to shut down airplay. But this is a little painful to watch. Mech doesn't work wonders against Protoss right now.
No.
And he's going for it. He wants to try this mech play. And I'm worried for him.
Yeah. We'll see. He's expanding off to his next... to his 3rd base.
He needs to find this pylon quick. And he will see.
He
okay.
will, right there. Okay.
Because if that somehow eluded him even for a second, a warp into Zealots would be devastating.
Yeah.
And I mean, I want Buggy to win this, right? Because I like that, like the idea of the underdog in the matchup. We were talking earlier about how the Protoss is considered the slightly stronger race. I want to see Terran win. It's always fun to see them take out the Protoss player.
Yeah.
But with this many Tempests coming in, I'm not sure what Buggy can do. He's producing 2 at a time, up to 5 momentarily. And just with the range on those, there's not a whole lot that Buggy has to handle it.
So they're an air siege unit, for those who might be not familiar with it.
Yeah, and what they were really entered into the game as and promoted as was they were a unit to really kill siege tanks, because they outrange everything. They can break siege lines quickly. But their big benefit is that they do bonus damage to massive. So battle cruisers, they just will obliterate battle cruisers.
I've never played them myself. I mean, I played them, but I've never been effective with them.
Yeah, they're hard. They take some skill.
Because I always get them too close, and they're very fragile.
Yeah, they work wonders with anything that has longer with good vision or cloak. So like observers work wonders with them. This harassment is going to do a lot of damage here, as the army was out of position at the 3rd. And going to kill off a good number of SCVs here before the army is pulled back to take out these stalkers.
He's doing a pretty good job with the blink now.
Yeah, he might actually even be able to get these out of here if he can get over to this ledge and blink out. You'll notice actually Buggy looks like he's pulling some units down to try to take care of that, or just actually go for the attack.
He's prepping up for a big attack. He's pushing in right now. He's going to try to take out number 3.
If he can get to number 3 and do, well, a lot of damage. Number 4 isn't up and running yet. If he can cut off these SCVs from retreating, oh, this is a neat trick he's going to do here. He's going to siege up on the low ground and use his Vikings to get vision on the high ground and start taking out these reactors as well as the mineral line itself. And the air is the only thing that's going to be effectively able to attack here. And they're going to meet the Thors and Vikings. So Thors in high impact payload mode means that they do bonus damage to single targets. So they are going to tear through these Void Rays.
Void Rays are falling quickly.
Void Rays are falling, but they've taken out almost all of the Thors as the Vikings are focusing down the Tempests.
Look at these Tempests are tearing them up.
The Tempests
he's dropping
a lot of damage.
He's dropping missile turrets already too. Wow, he's just basically saying, look, your air thing is just not going to work right now.
He's trying to set up a siege position, but Barcode is staying out of range of those missile turrets and is going to take him down quickly.
That was a pretty aggressive play. I've never seen somebody drop missile turrets in somebody's base like that, but hey.
You got to do what you got to do at this point, right?
Yeah, really.
Well, both players lost a lot in that fight. I would say nobody really came out well.
No.
And you'll notice that Buggy has noticed that Tempests are the unit of this game. 2 of them are coming at a time. I believe 3, because I think there's 3 Stargates at this point.
Stargate.
He's tossing out a whole lot of starports of his own. Mm-hmm. He's ready for this massive air battle that's going to happen.
Barcode's moving in.
If Barcode can catch Buggy before this air transition happens, he can do critical damage and really force him back up. Hopefully, Barcode hoping into like a 1-base situation. But what we're looking for out of Buggy is Ravens at this point. He wants those point defense drones. They will shut down the Tempest shots, and then he can also then fly in his Vikings under that protection. This Thor is going to just fall instantly as everything focuses it down.
Oh, jeez.
This is not a great position for him. There's not a whole lot of anti-air here for Buggy.
No, as I'm thinking, he's going to take these tanks and tear them up a little bit.
And, I mean, he's got, 5 Vikings against these Tempests? That's not going to be an effective fight, and it looks like, even with the Void Ray, he's going to take out all of the anti-air, and there is nothing left for Buggy.
Buggy is just going to lose all of his tanks right now for these siege.
And Barcode has done... Well, that was the critical damage. It's going to take too long. that is a bit of what I was talking about. There is no stage of the game where the Protoss player is weak.
Right.
They are a little too strong in every phase at this point.
I'm going to go back playing Protoss again.
It takes a lot of control.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be fair to the Protoss players, if they just build 10 Zealots and run them wherever they want, they'll lose and they'll die.
Right.
I don't know what Buggy can really achieve at this point. He has snuck this base in over here.
We're losing the third down there.
He did get a Cloak Banshee over.
Yeah.
That won't do significant damage to the building in any type of reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, he's lost his cloak anyway, so the stalkers can go over there.
Yeah, that stalker is enough to take it out. As the Tempests have started to move back in, there is a Viking force again, but not enough. And there is the leaving of the game by Buggy. Barcode is victorious.
Yep, no GG.
With that, it's so frustrating though.
It is. I've been there myself.
I mean, the Tempests, when they're in a small number, same with Void Rays, when they're both in a small number, they're weak and can be taken out.
Mm-hmm.
But the Protoss player can camp for that early phase of the game and get that overwhelming number.
Yeah.
It's painful to watch.
Exactly. All right, everybody. I think that was probably good for today. We'll be doing more of these. If you have any feedback, please leave them, or you can tweet about it on my Twitter. This video will be going up on N4G's channel later today. So if you have any comments, suggestions, questions, whatever, we're gonna this particular group with Thako and myself, we're going to be doing StarCraft. I keep on saying StarCast, you know why. And then the other group is going to be doing Smite, and we're going to probably try maybe League of Legends. We'll get a group together to do League of Legends. We're going to be trying to do all these different types of casts for all these really great games, so that we can.
Because it's always fun to watch people play games.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. So if you're new here, just checking it out, please hit the follow button, and then like I said, you can connect me on Twitter, which is at Geekdomo on Twitter, and leave me any comments, suggestions you have for how we did our show today. All right, so I guess that's it. Did you want to do another one?
We don't have any more loaded up.
All right, so that'll be good for now. See you, Miss Stun. You're really bad with your name, MST Stunner, who's a subscriber of mine. So
I'm gonna go with Mount Stunner.
Mount Stunner. All right, Mount Stunner. Thanks for coming, guy. We'll see you later.
Thank you all. It was a lot of fun.
Yep, really good. We'll talk to you later. See you. Bye-bye.